Our first guest gained national attention at 14 years of age when she was abducted at knife point from her home, held captive for a very long 9 months. She emerged from her ordeal only to become an outspoken advocate for other victims. Let's have a look.
Elizabeth Smart was thrust into the national spotlight after experiencing one of the most public and horrific abductions in U.S. history.
In 2002, Elizabeth Smart was taken from her home. She was kidnapped and would survive 9 months of being starved, chained, and raped.
After being freed, Elizabeth has decided to make her tragedy into a voice for empowerment.
I know exactly how it feels to be devastated, to feel like no one could possibly love you again, to feel like you're ruined.
Based on the premise, what if we could prevent future crimes against children? The Elizabeth Smart Foundation reaches out to address, fight, and prevent crimes against children. Elizabeth has also gone on to win numerous awards, become a best-selling author, and a national spokesperson for women's rights.
Joining us today is survivor and the author of Where There's Hope, Healing, Moving Forward, and Never Giving Up. Please welcome Elizabeth Smart to our studio. And I just want to congratulate you in terms of everything that you're doing now. And in particular, I love that you've actually taken your experiences and written a book about it. Tell us about the inspiration for that.
It's funny because when I first got home after I was rescued, I think I swore up and down I was never going to talk about it. I was never going to write a book about it. I was never, ever going to do like a documentary or a movie. Like I wanted to leave it all in the past. And it took about 8 years for my case to come to court. And when it finally did, I felt like it just came out as like facts on a sheet of paper. And I felt like I'm so much more than just a list of facts. So that's kind of how I decided to write my first book, my story. And then once that was done, once again, I thought, okay, well, that's done. I'll probably never do anything like this ever again. But as I went out and I would speak and advocate for women and for children and for survivors, I got a lot of questions like, how have you dealt with anger? Or have you dealt with anger? Have you forgiven your captors? Where do you find hope? Like, what's helped you move forward? And I kept getting these same questions over and over and over again. And I thought, well, if I'm getting so many questions and people aren't asking me like the nitty-gritty details, it's probably because they're looking for those same answers in their own life. And so I thought maybe this is a good opportunity for me to try to answer them. And goodness, I don't have all the answers, I don't. So I went out and I found people that inspire me, people that I look up to, people who are making a difference. And I asked them to share their stories and I asked them the same questions. And that's kind of the premise for this new book.
I'm curious, you know, dealing with all of those issues, and you address them in the book, but how did you deal with the anger, and have you forgiven?
Yes, to both. For me, when I look at forgiveness, I don't see it as, I feel like maybe the idea that I was raised with, that someone hurts you, they ask for forgiveness, and then you magnanimously say it's okay and move on and become best friends. I don't think that that's forgiveness. I feel like forgiveness really is kind of the ultimate expression of self-love, of valuing yourself. Because like I realize my captors will never care if I forgive them. It will not affect them a single second for the rest of their lives, knowing that I've forgiven them or not, but it will affect me and it will negatively impact my own life because I'll be holding on to anger or grief or pain, and that will stop me from living my life the best that I can do. And honestly, I guess I just love myself too much.
That's so awesome
to not do that.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like you make such an important point about anger and how we process anger, because people feel like they have to hold on to it. I want to remember what happened. This was not okay, right? But it actually destroys nobody but you. And I think that's a powerful message for other people who have suffered trauma, because sometimes that's what keeps them from taking that next step, from getting over some of the symptoms that it's caused.
I think you're right. And I think I'm not saying at all that you shouldn't be angry or you shouldn't be sad or you shouldn't feel grief. I think that it is a natural part of healing. I mean, it is natural to feel anger when someone hurts you, to feel pain, to feel sadness. But I think it's important just to realize that there is a place and there's a time for that, and take that time to grieve your losses, and then to have your end goal be moving forward to find your happiness.